This is Porsche's active drivetrain mount, PADM. It has two jobs befitting its name. The first is to support or mount the drivetrain to the chassis in your car. In the boxed or Cayman, that's to the gearbox, PDK or manual, and in the 911, typically the 991 for this version, it's directly to the engine. Its second job is to improve the handling characteristics of our cars by being active. It does that by varying how stiffly it is mounted to the drivetrain. In this short video, I'm going to explain how replacing the broken sensor in the mount here with the Popo Racing aftermarket replacement doesn't impact the active element of the mount and means that once replaced back in the car, these still perform as intended. So I'm going to jump indoors now because it's cold and windy out here. I'm going to run you through the explainer, show you some diagrams and give you the answer as to why snipping the three plastic bits in here doesn't break these. Welcome to Project 981 and welcome back to the channel for what I hope is the truly final video on PADM for a while. This is the fifth I've done. Okay, quick recap. Two jobs: mount the drivetrain and then be actively variable in how firm that mount is. Let's talk about the active component because that's the bit that's got most of us thinking, does replacing the sensor compromise it, the active component? How does that work in principle? Well, it's the same as an active damper. I'll give you what I think is the succinct version. In here is two elements, an MR, meteorological fluid, and functionally an electromagnet, which in the case of this is achieved by a set of coils, a wire coiled several times. Now the MR fluid changes its apparent viscosity when it's exposed to a magnetic field. So if you run an electric current through the coils, you create a magnetic field and the fluid's viscosity will vary as a consequence. And that changes the characteristics of the damper as the fluid moves through the valves. There'll be some valves in here in some form or other, in the same way it does in a damper. If you vary the voltage through the coil, you vary the electromagnetic field. If you vary the electromagnetic field, you vary the viscosity. You vary the viscosity, you vary the damping. That's how we get our active component. Now, PADM has gained something of a reputation. Firstly, certainly in my experience, it's quite hard to actually tell the difference between the mount being soft or firm. At least in my experience, I don't drive my car hard enough to really notice that, but I know some of you do. So we do know that it makes a difference. The second thing it's gained a reputation for is failing. Specifically, the little sensor in here, which detects the pressure, which is to say, in effect, how firm the mount is, which is information the car needs to then judge how strong or weak the corresponding magnetic field needs to be. So if that goes, the mount effectively breaks. But no matter, because Popo Racing have created an aftermarket sensor which does the job far better and has thus far proved reliable. And I've installed that on my car. In fact, I've put two on, see the separate videos for that, and all is back to normal. But as I was installing those sensors, and as you were watching my videos, thank you, a thought occurred. And that is that when I was clipping the three pins kind of in here, surely I was compromising the sensor's ability to torque the coil to make the mount active. And that seemed like a very reasonable question and concern. So I've done a bit of research, I've contacted Popo Racing, and they have come back to me and confirmed my hypothesis, the reality of how these are designed, which is it's fine. The answer is the sensor does not control the coil. They're on different circuits. The control is managed by a black box elsewhere in the car. And when we clip the pins, we are clipping the sensor circuit, not the coil circuit. The longer version, well, let's get stuck into that now. I'm going to draw you some diagrams, explain how it works, confirm that that is the case with an email from Popo Racing, and give you the reassurance that if you want to replace the sensors, put these back in your car, as I have, full functionality is restored. Okay, I'm going to see if I can make this work. It's a bit of a novelty format, but let's have a go. Right, let's just have a quick look at the sensor itself. I'm going to draw a diagram. So that's a familiar view. It's kind of the top, base, and that's the sensor body in there. So when I've been working on it, I've been working on here. I'm going to draw a diagram as if it's in this orientation. So just get the plug socket there and the body here and the base sensor here. Right, let's pop that away. in the Blue Peter style, for those of us old enough to remember that. Okay, so this will be slightly schematic. I'm going to try and describe to you now the OEM setup. Here we go. So there's three elements to this. There's the body of the mount, which for sake of argument looks like that. There is the housing for the sensor, which is the black plastic bit which comes up like that, with a cap on it. And then there is the outlet for the plug. So we have something that looks roughly like that. And in this bit, the body, we have two wires coming in, and they make up the coil, which produces the magnetic field. The top here, we have the printed circuit board with the cap on it. And here is the sensor, and underneath is the body that the fluid passes from this bit into here, and you detect the pressure from that. And then there's the 3 pins. So in my scheme, I'm going to show the 3 pins here. They pass from the top down. So when we clip them, they're kind of in here somewhere in practice, we are clipping the top of 3 wires which pass out through here. This single continuous wire has effectively got an input and an output, so we've got 2 wires coming out of here. So if I draw the plug schematically, we've got 3 wires going to, let's extend that, and from the pressure sensor, and we've got 2 wires to and from the coil. So that's doing the work of making the mount stiffer. That is doing the work of telling the car how stiff the mount is. And you can see already that and this is the plug, I should say, this is the plug body. So when you plug the whole thing into the car around here, obviously there's a break in those because you plug it in. So there's 5 wires coming out of here. So coil, sensor, 3 pins dropping down the body of the sensor and out of here, 1 wire input output passing through here. So bear in mind we've now got 5 wires with 2 separate circuits passing out of the body here. Quick reminder, let's get the mount again. There it is. So 3 wires down, 2 wires up, 5 wires out of there. Right, let's now have a go at doing the Popo Racing version. And you probably can see where this is going now. Let me try and reproduce my lovely diagram. We have the body of the mount down here. And we have 2, I'm going to slightly change my schematic, 2 wires coming out of here. And they are the coil, which we now understand the form and function of. Now, in the body up here, in the Popo Racing version, we actually have a sensor on the underside of a printed circuit board fed by its own little tube. And that's one of the key differences between the OEM sensor design, which is on the top, and the Popo Racing one. But we've clipped those 3 pins, so they no longer exist, but the car still needs to receive the signal from the pressure sensor, which is here. So in the Popo Racing design, as you can see from the photos, which I'm going to drop in now, the 3 wires actually come out of the top of the sensor and head off in that direction. The coil circuit is intact. We haven't done anything to that. So those wires still, actually I should have broken this here. Those wires still need to come out of the side of the car. There they go. To get back to the DME. Okay, so what's going on here? The way this actually works is that the entire assembly here has no bearing on the operation of this, in as much as there's no requirement for a direct connection between the top and the bottom. The hard work of interpreting the pressure signal and deciding how to vary the voltage to affect the magnetic field is done somewhere else in the car, in one of the many DMEs. In my car, when I had the error message for the PADM fail, it appeared to be in the PASM DME. It might vary depending on which dongle or P-wish you're using, but fundamentally the signal from this does not go up to here, it goes off to the back of the car somewhere, and likewise for this. Okay, so this is a bit of a messy diagram now. Let's just do this again, and I'll do it again in a way that shows how the plugs work. So body, coil, 2 wires coming out of here. So we've got 2 wires joining into one, for the sake of argument. So we've got 2 wires coming out there. Sensor body, 3 wires coming out from here, and here is the plug on the side. So in the Popo Racing design, we've got a sensor, and you've got a plug going off like that, another plug like that, and you've got an OEM plug on both. The reason this extra one is there is because this coil circuit is still live. So we plug that in, it takes the voltage back and forth to the DME, that goes onto there, this goes around to here. We then join up with the 3 pins from the sensor, the Popo Racing sensor, which no longer go down but now go up. Those emerge 3 wires from here, 2 wires to here, in the final plug here with 5 connections in it. There we go, and that's what plugs back into the loom. Bob's your uncle. So can I do an on-the-fly summary? Let's have a go. First, 3 wires for the sensor. Second, 2 wires for the coil. Third, both circuits intact. Fourth, coil and sensor circuits lead back to a master DME. And fifth, and I guess while you're watching this video, is that snipping the 3 pins does not break the coil circuit. Good news. And here's my original diagram, the one I sent to Popo Racing, just confirming that. It's actually a little bit more elegant. And I'll drop in now the reply from Popo Racing, confirming in a very flattering manner that this is correct. And you can see here, 2 wires, 3 wires, 2 wires, 3 wires, 1 plug, all works. Bob is your uncle. And that's it. A satisfying result and proof, if it were needed, that actually replacing the sensors in these is worth doing. So no more PADM videos from me for a while. If you have enjoyed them though, do give me a like and consider subscribing to the channel. And if you know somebody's got these in their car, then do share the links to the videos as well. But in the meantime, as ever, thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you for the next one.